Today, we're tackling a habit we're all guilty of, waiting for the perfect moment to take action. Whether it's waiting for the right Monday to start your new routine, for the month to reset, or for the new year to begin with a fresh slate, we've all been there. But let's set the record straight. The perfect moment isn't going to magically appear. It's not really the timing you're waiting for. It's something much more elusive. The reality is we're not waiting for the perfect moment. We're waiting for our perfect self. We picture a future version of ourselves who will somehow be more motivated, more disciplined, less stressed, and more equipped to handle whatever it is we want to do. And so, we shove all our plans, goals, and expectations onto this imaginary person who has their life perfectly together. But here's the rude awakening. That perfect version of you is never going to arrive. If today you feel too tired to exercise or too overwhelmed to start saving, guess what? That future you isn't going to feel magically different. You'll keep pushing things off, always waiting for the stars to align, and they never will. We have this tendency to believe that our future selves will have more willpower, more energy, or fewer problems. But the truth is, future you is going to feel exactly like present you does. Maybe even worse if the burden of procrastination keeps building up. The moment won't change, and neither will you, unless you start creating your ideal self right now, flaws and all. Instead of waiting for some mystical day when everything is easier, realize this. You don't need the perfect moment. You need a better mindset. Think about it. Every time you wait, you're expecting some magical transformation to happen, one that turns you into this unstoppable, motivated person. And every time you get to that day, or that week you set aside to start, you'll find a new excuse, a new reason why it's not quite the right time. It's a vicious cycle. Waiting for the ideal moment is really just a form of waiting for a version of yourself that doesn't exist, a version who is effortlessly disciplined and suddenly in the right mental space. But in reality, you're still going to be you when that perfect day arrives. The same mindset, the same habits, the same resistance. Let's shift our perspective. Instead of trying to create the ideal moment, focus on building the ideal person. You can't control the situations, the people, or the external factors that come your way, but you can shape who you are. And no, that doesn't mean becoming some flawless, fearless superhero overnight. What it does mean is choosing to be the kind of person who takes action despite the challenges. It means embracing the fact that every day might have a roadblock or an inconvenience, and doing it anyway. This is where true progress comes from, building up your resilience muscle, one small, imperfect step at a time. Right now, wherever you are, picture something you've been putting off. Maybe it's planning a family get-together, having that difficult conversation at work, starting a new savings account, or booking a trip you've been dreaming of. Whatever it is, you're probably thinking, I'll wait until I have more time, or I'll start when I feel less overwhelmed. But what if you did it now? Despite the chaos, despite the busy schedule, despite the discomfort, what if you took just one small step today? Don't worry about it being perfect. Just start. The reality is, the waters will never be completely calm. You're waiting for your version of a calm, sunny day when the waves are just right. But every surfer knows that waiting for the perfect wave means you'll miss a dozen good ones along the way. After talking to countless successful people, there's one thing they all agree on. They've never regretted starting. Even when things were uncertain, when the odds were stacked against them, they always look back and say, I'm glad I took the leap. The real risk lies in never trying, in letting the fear of imperfection or timing keep you stagnant. Our ancestors didn't wait for the perfect tools or conditions to go hunting. They tried and adapted along the way. First, they hunted with whatever they had. Then, they created new tools and got better. Learning happened through action, not by waiting around. If you keep delaying, you're just handing more and more pressure to your future self, piling on unrealistic expectations. When that day comes, instead of being magically equipped to handle it all, you'll feel even more overwhelmed. So stop making your future self carry all that weight. Take one small action today, and let it be enough. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for momentum. Today's challenge is simple. Do the thing you've been putting off. Start small. Send that email, make that call, plan that outing, whatever it is. Just don't wait for some perfect version of yourself to show up and save the day. Because right now is always the perfect time. It's the only time. Start now and keep building. We'll be here cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, go after it. You've got this.